the base graph looks like this, the square root of x. Okay, well, the problem with this is to make an XY chart is kind of tough because you can only use the perfect squares. So if I think about the perfect squares, 1, 4, 9, 16, right? So I could start with 0 because the square root of 0 is 0, right? Oh, look at that. There's my first point. If I have the square root of 1, well, that's 1. If I have the square root of 4, that's 2, right? And there's, oh, it's just a parabola on its side, isn't it? If I have 9, that's 3. Look at that. So 9, 3 would be right there. Now, we don't do this guy. This guy doesn't go in there. All we have is the positives because I can't take the square root of a negative number. You know, if I put a negative 1 in there, the square root of negative 1 does not work. So this part will never be in the graph, okay? But this is your base graph. This is what it looks like. Notice instead of going up 1, well, it still goes up 1 over 1. But instead of going up 4 over 2, it goes up 2 over 4. It's just the opposite of that other graph, isn't it? And instead of up 9 over 3, it's up 3 over 9. You just put it on its side is basically what's going on there. You're putting that parabola on its side, okay? So now, by the same token, what happened, do you guys remember what happened when we put this here? Instead of going up 1 over 1, we doubled this guy, didn't we, the up. So we went up 2 over 1. And instead of going up 4 over 2, we doubled this guy to make it 8, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so it would be really steep like this. The same thing happens, awesome, on one of these. If we put that guy in front, that 2 in front of this guy, we're still going to start at 0, 0. But instead of going up 1 over 1, we're going to double that. So we're going to go up 2 over 1. Okay, because our normal pattern is up 1 over 1. And then we're supposed to go up 2 over 4. Remember, we're opposite. So I'm going to double these two guys here. Well, that's up 4 over 4. So it looks like this. And we just graphed our curve. That's all we really need to say. That's all you really need to do on that curve. Okay? Now, just like before, if we had y equals x squared minus 3, we would go 1, 2, 3, down 3, and then we're going to follow our pattern. Up 1 over 1, and up 4 over 2. We'd be out here somewhere. Okay, there would be our graph. So the same thing happens when we have the radical x plus 2, let's say. I'm going to go up 2. That's where I'm going to start. And then I'm going to go up 1 over 1. And then I'm going to go up 2 over 4. So it's the same exact graph. It's just shifted up 2. Okay? Or, beginning, you could do the same thing but go down. If you had y equals square root of x minus 4, we could go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. And then we'd still follow the pattern. Up 1 over 1 and up 2 over 4. So here, up 1 over 1 and up 2 over 4 would be here. And there would be our graph. Okay? So you're still just doing a parabola. You're just tipping it on its side, and you're only doing the top part of it. You're not doing the bottom part of it. Okay? Now, the vertex form part, where we shift left or right, that's going to be something inside. Notice all these have been outside the radical. They haven't been underneath this radical here. I stopped that short. So it's important that you write carefully here. Was a minus 4, we went down 4. Okay. So something that would be inside would look like this. Let's say I had y equals square root of x minus 3. That's clearly underneath the radical, right? Well, what that does is that's going to shift us 3 units, but it's going to shift it opposite the sign. So the sign is negative, so we're going to shift to the right, the opposite of that. So we're going to be right here at 3, the positive 3. And then we follow our pattern, up 1 over 1 and up 2 over 4. And there is our graph. So by the same token, if I had y equals square root of x plus 4, we're going to go the opposite of that sign. So that's going to go left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would put us here. And again, I'm still going to follow the pattern. Up 1 over 1, up 2 over 4. And there would be that graph. This graph and this graph. You go opposite the sign. So if it's positive inside here, you go left. If it's negative inside here, you go right. The ones we did before went with the sign, didn't they? So underneath the radical goes opposite the sign. Outside the radical goes with the sign. So now let's combine one. I know I'm going through this fast, but I think you can get it. You can watch it a couple times if you want. Now these are both positive, but you got to remember, this one is going to go with the sign. This one's going to go against the sign. Okay? So we're going to go left 2 and up 1. There would be where our vertex is. Because we went the opposite of the sign, so it's going to be left 2 spots, and then up 1 spot. And then I follow the pattern. Up 1 over 1 would be here, and up 2 over 4 would be here. Up 2 over 4 would be right there. And so this is our graph. Okay? And that's all you need. You only need those 3 points. This is your vertex, and then these 2 guys going with it. Okay? I mean, we could continue. It'd be up 3 over 9, etc. But there's no real point in doing that. All right, let's try one more. Let's go y equals x minus 3 underneath the radical and minus 5 here. So this means we're going to go down 5, but this means we're going to go right 5. It's going to be the opposite of that. So we got to go down here. Here's 1, 2, 3 to the right, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. There's my vertex, and then I follow the pattern. Up 1 over 1, and up 2 over 4 would be right there. And there's my graph. That is how you graph radical functions. Okay, that's your basic graph. Okay, we can do, I don't know, a million more, but let's do one more here where we combine all 3 things. So let's say I got y equals 2 times radical x plus 4 and then minus 3. So the 2 in this case now is the last thing we're going to apply because that applies to our pattern. We're going to change our pattern. There's the pattern, up 1 over 1, up 2 over 4. But we got to figure out where to start first. So we're going to go down 3, and we're going to go left 4. So let's go left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. So there's where our vertex is. Now I'm going to erase those spots. Now we got to double, because of this 2, we have to double these guys. So instead of up 1, I'm going to go up 2 over 1. Notice the 1 didn't change. And the 4 here is not going to change, but this is going to change to a 4. So it's going to be up 4 over 4. And so there would be our graph. Let's try one more. Let's go y equals 3. Now we're going to triple our pattern. X plus 2 and minus 5. So what does this mean? Well, again, we're going to have to triple our pattern. So we're going to triple these 2 numbers. Okay, and we're going to start at a negative 2 and a negative 5. We've got to do the opposite of that. So we're going to go left 2 and then down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's where our vertex is. Now, if I triple this, that's going to be 3. So I'm going to go up 3 over 1. Would be right there. Then I'm going to go up 6. Triple that would be 6. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6 over 1, 2, 3, 4 would be here. And there's that. Wow, that's a terrible graph. Let's see if I can erase that. Ooh, that's bad. I don't want that. Okay, sorry, I erased everything. So we're here, here, buddy. And then here. Alright, so let's see if I can draw that. That's a little bit better. Alright, but anyway, that's what you're getting at. So I'm going to give you a quick check here later. I'll probably have a picture of a graph, and you have to decide what the equation is. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Also, if you don't, when you're trying to do this on your own, if you don't have a graph paper or you can't print out the graph paper that I have, just make a quick like this here, and you know, if it's y equals square root of x minus 4, you could just go, all right, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, I got to go 4 to the right, and then I'm going to go up 1 over 1, and then up 4 over 2, 1, 2, or up 2 over 4, I'm sorry. Be right there, and you can make a quick graph like this here. That won't be a problem. If you don't have graph paper, you can just make pictures and send it to me. That's what I'm probably going to do first. Is just I'll put up some problems, and I want you to take pictures of it and email it to me. All right. Have a good one. Oh, come on. Okay, guys, I'm back. We're going to do something a little bit new today, but it relates to something that we used to do. I don't know, it's been a while, but parabolas. You remember the U-shaped graphs we had like that? You know, we had y equals x squared, and it would start at the middle, and then we had that pattern. We would go up 1 over 1. You guys remember that? So it'd be here and here. And then we would go up 4 over 2. And so from the vertex, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 2 both ways. And there would be my graph, okay? I don't know if you remember that or not, but we did that a while back. And there was an easy add-on to that. If I added like a plus 4 here, then it would start, if say this was 0, 0 this time, I'd start up 4, and then I'd follow my pattern from there, okay? Now, we never did vertex form, but today is going to be like a vertex form, although we didn't do that. I'm going to show you how it works in a minute here. The only time this vertex ever shifted this way or this way is if we added like, just remember that this pattern here still applies. It's just the opposite. We're going to do the opposite of this and the opposite of that. We're going to change this to up and this to over, and this to up and this to over. That's all we're really doing here, okay? Because we're doing radical functions, okay? We're graphing radical functions. Y equals x squared plus 3x plus 6, and then this guy here would make it shift left or right. But there was no real pattern to that. We had to find the vertex. Luckily, we're not going to have to do that this time, because we're going to have a vertex form equation, okay? But so if we have, and I started at